Hey everybody, hope you're all doing well out there. I wanted to make a video today. I woke up and I was like, I want to make a video today. So first off, I want to say thank you to everyone who reached out with their condolences and warm wishes, over the course of this last few days. For those of you who might not have seen the announcements I was making on, all the community posts on, both YouTube's and on Facebook and Instagram, said goodbye to Persephone on Thursday, the 28th of September. Said goodbye to her body, anyway. Said goodbye to her body. I don't want to go too much into the details about how things have been, this last 2 months. I talked a bit about it in those posts, but it's not really where I want to go in this particular video. But I want to say thank you to everyone who has been, reaching out and again, giving their condolences and sending their love. In this video, though, I did want to maybe use the circumstances to talk a little bit about the notion of control. I've been thinking a lot about control lately, especially when it comes to the path and spirituality and tarot and psychic work and seeing the future and astrology and healing and magic and spiritualism and all of that. This concept of control and our relationship with control and what we think we do and what we don't think we have control over. And this is kind of a messy topic, to a certain degree, because there are schools of thought that, say we have no control whatsoever. We're just objects in the universe at the mercy of its circumstances. And all spirituality is in all psychic work and all tarot and all astrology and all energy work and healing is really just a very elaborate, artistic, interpretive form of emotional management. And there are some people out there that certainly have carried on that way. As I'm not a fan of that. And then there are people out there who believe that it's all about the acquisition of as much control as possible through their magic, through being able to, use their gifts and their skills to do this and that. And that's not there either. Our relationship with control is in our understanding of what is in the sphere of our control and what isn't, and what shouldn't be in our control. And wrestling with my own issues around control and transition and understanding, was hard for me. While I am somebody who does not believe that one can truly control everything, I of course not. Of course, when we come to these moments, we think about all of the things we can do to control a situation that may be trending in a direction that we don't want it to go, right? Whether it's we try to control it with money, we try to control it with conversation, applied power, magic, study, seeking answers and information. And at the end of the day, it's all about the ego's desire to either block or evade a change, or pain, or loss, or transition of any kind. Sometimes transition isn't always, what we think it is. But at the end of the day, it is the seeking of control, and even the idea of healing can and has been used in many ways, in many circumstances and in many communities as a way of creating a sense of control. The notion of empowerment, being about control. When there are people who think about empowerment as control, you see a lot of that there. Now, again, I'm not saying that no one has control over anything. We have control over many things. We have control over a lot of what we can choose intentionally and through our actions consciously to manifest. We have control over where we direct our energy. We have control over how we choose to act on our impulses. We have control over what opinions and beliefs we come up with. And we also have control over what we will do. We also have control with a great deal of things like magic and tarot and astrology. The ability, depending on the ability and the skill level of the practitioner, of course, to get the information, ask the right questions, right, to be able to get the right information, and you know why I'm saying it that way, to be able to give ourselves insights and equipment and information we need in order to take the best actions that we can, that are available, and control outcomes with our spells and our workings, to the best of, what is available at the time. However, there are things that do supersede our sphere of control, in cases where, again, say, a part of a plan that, or an agreement or a space that another being has made in their own free will, that a certain situation would only go on for so long, or that something is truly irreversible. And when we're wounded, or if a person is in a place where maybe they're not presently wounded, but they are keeping an old wound open, effectively re-wounding themselves, not necessarily having anything to do with the original wound inflictor or infliction, but, just opening up the old wound that somebody else or something else opened in the past, there can be a tendency to try to control too much. Be mindful of what you're doing when you do that. Spirituality is about change. It is about moving through change, transition, alterations, and not arming ourselves against it. Sure, we protect ourselves and we maintain, the peace and the harmony that we can, not allowing for chaos and instability and, dysregulation of our realities, right? We don't, that is obviously an unwelcome thing. Nobody wants to welcome that, the unstable and dysregulated chaos. But when the universe, when greater powers at work, or greater paths or greater flows happen, we must adjust. And we have a choice, funny enough. We have control over how we adjust. But there are things that you will encounter that you have no control over. And you have to be able to grow out of any tendencies that you may have, to arm yourselves with your spiritual tools, your magical tools, or your psychic tools, your astrology tools, or healing tools, to abuse them or misuse them in a way where all you are doing is trying to block change in your life, or to arm yourself against things that are actually a bigger course of a natural course of events that you might not understand. There are circumstances that we are all working through, right? Things that we are all looking to unlearn or adjust to. But it can be very tempting to use this path as another way to feel like you have more control than you do or should. The universe goes through its own shifts, and we are a part of the universe, yes. But it is a fool who thinks that the statement, one is all and all is one, means one is all and all is me. That is a very bad misunderstanding of how this all works. To say you have control over absolutely nothing is infantile, and to say you have control over absolutely everything is grandiose. It's easier today, and I'm choosing to continue with my work. I wanted to make a video, and interestingly enough, I wanted to do readings. I want to work this week. Why do I want to work this week? Not because I want control, not because I want to go into denial about the circumstances, but because I'm well aware that it is good for me to be working. I have time dedicated to commune and to connect. I have time to flow. But I also want to make sure that I am not, getting sucked into my own past attempts to control. Persephone is not the first pet, that I've said goodbye to. But in the past, I know to feel control, I would do all kinds of things. Maybe I would take a week off, purge the house, move. Or I would throw myself into my work. I would throw myself into the space where I would get really busy, and then it would just catch up with me, a week and a half, 2 weeks down the road. I've had a good half a week now to sit. And I've promised myself and Persephone that I would also make sure to give every day time to sit. But I'm not going to shut down and pull away. There's only so much control you have. And you should be happy you don't have all the control. You should be happy that you are a part of something bigger than yourself. And the same thing goes for every other path that you walk beside with others. Your loved ones, your pets. We are all a part of something greater that we don't have complete control over, that we shouldn't have complete control over. And we should be happy for it. Don't use this path as a way to arm yourself against change or growth or evolution or adaptation in yourself. This is not something to use so that you can feel like you have absolute control and a way to get all of the answers without learning any of the lessons. Let this be a tool to give you power, to have more power and more control over what you can. Magically, spiritually, personally, psychically, and otherwise. As well as the knowledge and the information to help to adapt and to evolve into a being that is capable of using those things well, and working those powers well. You are not a patient of the path, no one is. You are either a practitioner, or you're just visiting. So, it's just something I wanted to say for now. But, for those of you who are curious, yes, the schedule is open. I am going to be doing readings this week. I will be writing a blog a little bit more about what's been going on and, maybe going into a bit more of the spiritual circumstances surrounding everything that's been happening. Because I want it to be documented, because I find it needs to. But, I'm here. I'm, doing well, all things considered. And, it's, she's with me. And in spite of how things have been, feeling quite powerful. So I will see you all again soon, but I want to make sure I get home and get this video up. So you all know I'm alive, and again, doing all right, all things considered, and we will speak again soon.